guys, so pretty interesting thing to talk about today. The release date for Pikmin 4 may have just leaked. I first saw this from My Nintendo News, who reported that a Greek retailer had listed a release date for Pikmin 4 as May 23rd. However, I saw some other places reporting the listing as May 26th. Actually visiting the site, and the date is indeed May 26th, not the 23rd, which is a Friday. May 26th is a Friday. So whether this is legit or not, it does make more sense it would be May 26th, given that Nintendo games generally release on Fridays. Alright, well, this Greek retailer is called Game Explorers. The Pikmin box art here is obviously just a mock-up placeholder, but they do list an exact date for release as May 26th. Usually, if a game doesn't have a clear release date, and instead only the year it's planned to be released is known, like 2023, but they need to enter a date into the site's system or something, along with the game listing, they put in a placeholder date of something like December 31st, the final day of the year. So it's odd someone put in an exact date for this game here. Even odder still is that this date is May 26th, which would be only a few weeks after Nintendo's biggest game of the year, The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, releases. That game releases in May as well, May 12th, actually. Would seem absolutely bizarre to me if Nintendo dropped its two most anticipated first-party Nintendo titles of 2023 in the same month, only a few weeks apart. I don't know if I'd have time to play both of them. If Tears of the Kingdom is anything like Breath of the Wild, and I imagine it will be, the game will certainly eat up weeks and weeks of my time once it's released. I am, however, very excited for Pikmin 4, so I definitely want to play it as soon as it releases. But if it's that close to Tears of the Kingdom, sadly, I'd probably have to backlog the game and play it a few months later. And I'm a huge Pikmin fan, and I don't think I'm alone here. I feel like there's a lot of crossover between the Zelda and Pikmin fan bases, and it would be unfortunate if Pikmin 4 sales were hurt simply because it released too close to Tears of the Kingdom. This Game Explorer's website listing, of course, is by no means a definitive or official release date. So hopefully the release date here is inaccurate. Even though I'd love to get Pikmin 4 as soon as possible, and May doesn't sound like a bad wait time for that game, I just don't want it to overlap with my Zelda Tears of the Kingdom playthrough. I've waited years on both these games, and I want to give them my full attention. Now, Nintendo, as well as PlayStation and Xbox, have pulled out of E3 this year, with Nintendo's reasoning for this being specifically cited as having a light release schedule for the second half of the year. So, getting Pikmin 4 in May actually would line up with that statement. Had Pikmin 4 been a second half of the year release, or even released around E3 in June or something, that might justify doing some kind of E3 event for it. But if Nintendo's two biggest 2023 titles both drop in May, then yeah, it's possible the second half of the year could have a light release schedule for Nintendo. As much as I hate to say I want a game I've been waiting years for to get delayed slightly and pushed back, if Pikmin 4 really is planned to be dropped in May on May 26th, only a couple weeks after Tears of the Kingdom, I'd honestly rather they wait a month or so. Give Tears of the Kingdom the breathing room it really needs before dropping Pikmin 4 on us. Pikmin just isn't as strong of a series as Zelda, and I again hate to see its sales hurt by being close to a Zelda release. I guess we will just have to wait and see if this is accurate whenever a Pikmin 4 release date is officially announced to us. Luckily, there's a good chance we won't have to wait very long for that. Rumors for a potential Nintendo Direct possibly coming this week are piling up. In fact, a website having a potential release date listed for Pikmin 4, like what we have here, can honestly be added to the accumulating list of things pointing towards getting a Nintendo Direct very, very soon. Nintendo Directs have news for games, they give us release dates for upcoming games, so a Pikmin 4 release date showing up very soon in a Nintendo Direct and possibly being why this website has one, yeah, it all lines up. We've already had a lot of leaks for Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp, likely finally releasing very soon after being delayed almost a full year. The newest thing on that front being that supposedly there's rumors of Walmart apparently receiving Advance Wars Reboot Camp posters that say available now. I had already had someone send me an image of a GameStop with Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp marketing materials on the shelves of GameStop, so it does seem like retailers are gearing up to sell Advance Wars soon. And now Jeff Grubb has weighed in on the Nintendo Direct rumors, that from what they're hearing of the Nintendo Direct rumors right now, they think it seems to be the week of February 6th, so this week. Of course, we already had that Reddit leak claiming the Direct was taking place on February 7th, the same day as the scheduled Nintendo Investors Meeting. Of course, given time zones and stuff, it could be like a Direct on the 8th or something. Time zones are always weird in giving specific Direct date predictions. I always give like 24 hours leeway in either direction, just because this stuff happens worldwide worldwide, and again, time zones are weird. You never know where the leaked information is actually coming from, so it might be the 7th in one area of the world, the 8th in another area. It's just a little wacky. Anyway, Jeff Grubb is now supporting this as well, and that's good to hear. Although, his Nintendo predictions haven't been so great recently. Jeff Grubb was saying Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD Switch ports would be our 2022 Zelda games, and would show up back during our September Nintendo Direct. And of course, that never happened. Jeff Grubb also claimed a Metroid Prime remaster was in the works. I'd love to get the whole Prime trilogy, though I guess the rumor was just for the first game. Anyway, Jeff Grubb went on to say the Prime remaster would be out before the end of 2022. And of course that didn't happen either. Although he isn't the only person talking about getting Metroid Prime remastered. That's actually been a rumor for a long time. Perhaps it's just getting pushed back to release closer to whenever Prime 4 happens, and to start the hype for that game. Maybe Prime 4 is just taking a while, so this is a real game, this Metroid Prime remaster. It's just getting pushed back and back and back as Prime 4 is getting pushed back. Anyway, I honestly don't think Jeff Grubb is lying or even has wrong information. I honestly think those rumors were likely to some extent be true, but things have changed behind the scenes, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens with those. When or if any of the stuff Jeff Grubb has been saying will actually come to pass. And if we really are getting a Nintendo Direct this week, we might not have to wait long to potentially find out. In other Nintendo news, Piranha Plant Cove was added as an all-new course to the Mario Kart Tour. Pretty cool to get more Mario Kart tracks in Mario Kart Tour, especially because they could potentially show up in the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC, as a lot of the Tour tracks have shown up in the 8 DLC tracks. So maybe we'll get Piranha Plant Cove and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe as DLC at some point. And then this was just really cool to hear for me. Nick Offerman was talking on Jimmy Kimmel, and they mentioned how they were absolutely addicted to Banjo-Kazooie. They ended up playing it for 2 weeks straight back when it came out in 1998, and they decided to just kind of swear off video games after that. I could totally relate to playing a ton of Banjo-Kazooie when that game released. So really cool to hear that a big-name actor like that also was a huge Banjo-Kazooie fan. I wonder what Nick Offerman thought of Banjo getting in Smash, if he's aware of that happening. And then just real quick before I end this video, I just wanted to say this because a lot of people have asked me about it. I am aware that Smash Remix got new characters added to it and even has further characters after this. Before, the character select screen had 1 question mark block on it. Now 2 more characters have been added and 2 more question mark blocks, so who knows when that game will stop adding characters. My brother plays a ton of Smash Remix, so yes, I am very aware of this game. I actually got my brother an EverDrive for Christmas this year so that he could play Smash Remix on an N64. Anyway, the newest characters added to that game are King Dedede and Marina Lightyears from Mischief Makers, which is just awesome. Such a sweet N64 character to get in a Smash game, so I was very excited about that. I actually busted out Mischief Makers recently just because of this release. Not to downplay King Dedede getting into the game, that's pretty cool too. He's finally out of the background of Dreamland, and I like getting those Smash almost characters we could have potentially gotten in Smash 64 in Remix. Marina Lightyears is kind of the Geno of Smash 64 characters, or Smash Remix characters here, because Geno has that weird joint ownership between Nintendo and Square Enix, whereas Marina Lightyear and the Mischief Makers series is also weirdly released by Treasure as the developer, but Square and Enix were a part of that, and it was during that turbulent time when Square totally left any partnerships with Nintendo to go over to Sony and everything, which is, again, something that sort of happened shortly after Super Mario RPG. So they're characters from that weird time when Nintendo and Square weren't too close. So I don't know if Square and Nintendo don't like these characters because of that, but I know a lot of people would love to get a new Mischief Makers game. It just doesn't seem that likely to ever happen. Same kind of deal with Geno, so very cool to see Marina in Smash Remix. I personally really like when Smash Remix does things that are very N64 accurate. I'm not a huge fan of like Mementos being a stage in the game or having Dark Samus there. I want this game to basically just be what we could have gotten with Smash 64 had it had infinite development time. Anyway, Marina Lightyear's in the game, very awesome. Definitely check out Smash Remix if you haven't. Alright, well that's basically everything I wanted to talk about today. Well, I'd love to get my hands on Pikmin 4 as soon as possible. It's been a long time since Miyamoto told us it was almost done. I'd still honestly rather wait a bit longer if the game is actually going to release close to Tears of the Kingdom. Better idea to spread out the releases of those 2 games, in my opinion. Anyway, what do you guys think of all this? Do you think this random website listing is accurate and we'll get Pikmin 4 on May 26th? Or do you think it's totally false? Would you want it to release on May 26th and be so close to Tears of the Kingdom? Or would you rather have it pushed back slightly and wait a bit longer like I would so you have time to play Tears of the Kingdom? Or have you waited so long for Pikmin 4 you just want it ASAP? You're like, let's get this game out whenever. It doesn't matter if it's close to Tears of the Kingdom. Let's just get it in our hands as quick as possible. If you have any thoughts or comments about any of the stuff we talked about in this video, feel free to leave a comment below.
Remember to like the video, leave a comment in the section below, and subscribe to Papa Gino's!
Twitter, Patreon, Discord, Twitch.